Welcome to the M Factor Live. My name is Emme and I teach next level yoga classes beyond just pretty postures, but I'm trying to teach everyone the connection between mind, body and spirit. And while it looks like that every yoga class does that, there is a big difference in how we approach our classes. So today's class is about creating an energy of restoration, of calm and recharging quality in challenging times. This is a live class and I hope that some of you can join me. If you watch this on a replay, please know that even if you watch this later, the energy of this class is for all us to come together to get into a place where we can deal with really, really challenging times. Everybody knows this is a place and time in our lives that nobody else of us has ever lived in this context, and we are everyone dealing with it, everyone a little bit different, and there are different tools and skills, and hopefully some of your life experience can help you to deal with what is going on in this moment. Our yoga practice, as many of you know, can be a beautiful help, can be an aid in dealing with our life. This is really what our yoga practice should always be. It should not be just about the poses. It shouldn't be just about how long we can stand on our head or how deep we can fold. Our yoga practice should empower us to live life in a different quality. And in this case specifically, I hope that your yoga practice can help you get into a calm place where you can make good decisions when it's required, where we can step up to something that none of us could ever imagine, could have had imagined before. So yesterday I did move a little bit more. We did some standing, flowing motions. Today I would love to stay on the ground. And staying on the ground in your yoga practice is very grounding, absolutely. Yeah, it helps us to feel the ground beneath us. So everything that we do today, just make sure that you always have connection. When we have anxiety, when we feel stressed mentally and emotionally, what comes often with it is a feeling of uncertainty and disbalance. The ground beneath us that holds us, especially when you sit and lay and you move on the ground, is a wonderful helper to change the energy in our body. So restorative and gentle movements in yoga are often practiced on the ground. So what you need today is a mat. I am sitting today on my blocks. If you have blocks, this would be wonderful. We probably will need a belt. You can use anything you have at home, a regular belt. It doesn't have to be a yoga belt. And if you have a yoga bolster, we might use it just for the end of our class in a couple of positions that will help us to relax. This is a yoga bolster. They come in different forms and shapes, mostly rectangular or rounded. They are filled with dense cotton and they give us support and can lift our body. Very beautiful tool, especially in the more restorative part of our yoga practice. So if you have one, great. If you don't have one, just take a pillow or maybe 2 or 3 pillows on top of each other. That will do just fine. Okay, let's find our seat. In my last 2 classes, I have talked about the seat a little bit. If you have a chance to go back, please do so. I want you to know that my classes are maybe a little bit different. It's really not about you just watching this and watching me do things on the mat, watching me move, I really would like to invite you to practice with me. Yeah? The reason why I'm out here is not so that you can watch what I do in yoga. My personal practice is personal and completely different. I want to teach you, and this class is geared towards people who don't have a lot of experience in yoga and maybe don't have a lot of movement experience in other athletic areas. This class is also beautiful for people who are athletes like me, because we need this as a balance. So wherever you are in this moment in time, know that my intention is to teach you something that you can take out of this class into your day, into the weeks coming, maybe a little nudge that stays with you and that creates a tiny change, because that's the only way for us to grow, to create these tiny changes. Yeah. So the last 2 days, I encouraged people who have a little bit more difficulties to sit on the ground, to sit on a chair. Cross-legged posture is always an option for everybody who feels comfortable in this pose and who can sit there without pain. My third option today, which I would like to show you, is hero's pose, to sit on blocks, which is really a good alternative to sit on the ground and be able to sit upright without a lot of effort. This will be a good alternative pose for all of us who don't feel really at ease in our cross-legged position. Yeah, so this is why I'm sitting today here in hero's pose, to show you. In the Asian world, this seat is very often used to meditate. So see and try this out and see if you can sit on blocks or something that can lift you up. Have the feet right to the outside of your blocks and your hips, straight looking back, and see if you can erect your spine by tilting from our pelvis, our pelvic bone forward, so that our spine can erect upward. Take a moment to find this seat. For most of us, it is not as easy as just flipping a switch and there we are in perfect meditative position. It's not that. Take a moment to first sit. Find your seat. Find your feet, the knees, your hip and pelvis angle. Play around with it a little bit just for a moment, so that you can see, where is my neutral position? Most of us, we have no concept of where neutral is or what really upright is. And it's really worth it to learn that. Yeah? We need feedback for that. Maybe somebody who can look at our posture. Maybe you can make a video of yourself as well. The seat is important. So while it might be tempting to just kind of like slouch somewhere and be okay with sitting the way we normally sit, in this meditative time where we want to focus our mind, it is important that the spine is aligned. There's a lot of energy now swirling in our body, and a lot of it is centered around our spine, to the back of the crown of the head, all the way encompassing this vertical line. And if we pay a little bit attention in how we sit and work on that, we will change the way how your breath is received, how your mind can be centered in a different way when the spine and your body is aligned. That's why we practice the physical yoga. Yeah? Okay. So, let your hands relax on your thighs. Take a deep breath in and close your eyes for a moment. Notice what happens when we close our eyes. Notice what happens when we become still. There's a lot of stuff that will come up for many of you, and that's okay. Our goal is not to run away. Our goal is not to push away. Our goal is not to distract or to hide. Our yoga practice is there for us to be still. And while this might seem quite challenging for some of you, it is something that we can train ourselves in. So sitting down quietly with your eyes closed, with your spine as erect as possible, so that your breath has space to breathe. And first and foremost, only be there. We don't want to immediately direct and control and go somewhere. I want to invite you to just sit with me and breathe for a few breaths, calmly, and see if you can focus your mind away from all the energy around us, from everything that is going on in our life. From the weight that we carry, can we be in the storm? See and feel the wind. Can we feel all of this and still sit, be quiet with our eyes closed and just breathe? While this might seem like not a huge, flashy, glorious solution, this is it. Training myself to be still in the midst of a storm, which might be an emotional, a mental, a physical danger that keeps me on my toes, that lets my guard be constantly on. Our job is not to push this away. Everything we feel right now is there for a reason. We humans are equipped with amazing tools that can either be extremely helpful or very detrimental. Our yoga practice is there to help us learn to work with the tools that we have been given and to decide what to choose in any given moment in time. Please know that even in times of uncertainty, of disbalance, of turmoil, and even destruction, we are not powerless. We have everything within us to make good choices. And our fear And our concern can be a useful tool for us to make good choices that keep us safe, that kick in to protect us. Our fear can be an amazing source of energy to not give up. Our fear can be a motivator to find strength within. And in times like these, we do this for each other. So maybe today, you can be the one who transforms somebody's fear into a quality of moving forward. We are not powerless. There's actually a lot we can do. The choice is yours. If you practice yoga with this background, then you know your yoga practice can prepare you for turmoil, for stress, for uncertainty. All of these things can leave us empowered to step up. The strength that we find is within. And maybe some of you can feel in this calm seat that we are sharing here together. You can feel that each breath keeps us in the present moment. And because we stay present, all those things that attack us lose their strength and their power. Softly deepen your breath. Slowly start to expand and feel the strength in each inhale as well as exhale. Can you feel strength and energy in this calm cycle of in and exhalation? Notice how the expansion of your inhale creates space. It actually reaches energy out. And feel how your exhalation draws this energy back into our center. See if you can breathe, not specifically longer or deeper, but if you can create a breath that contains a little bit more strength and power. And we actually do this with our muscles. The breathing muscles can create an energy of strength and power when you inhale and when we exhale. Inhale and exhale. We want to take this energy into our movement. And you might notice that despite the fact that this is a quite powerful breath, it's very calm, it's grounded. When your mind wanders off, when you notice that you get distracted, we're not running with it. We are not reacting to it. The practice is to stay connected with our breath and allow the mind to center its focus back onto in and exhalation. That is the practice. Let's take 3 more rounds of powerful, strong breaths. They aid our alertness. They help our awareness. We want to be vigilant right now. These vigilance and alertness leads us to better choices. And our good choices lead us to a feeling of empowerment. And when we feel empowered and not powerless, our anxiety can dissolve. It can at least loosen its grip. And there's a lot of benefit in practicing that. Good. So slowly from here, let's lay on our backs, please. Put the blocks to the side. We probably might not need them in our next movements. So let's lay on our back, flat on the ground. Take a deep breath in and slowly bring one knee after the other to the chest. Draw the knees to the chest softly, in and out. Allow your hands to do the movement. So the belly and my hips, my core are soft. And I'm just moving in and out. And then I'm opening my knees out to the side and allow the knees to hang. So see if you can just abduct, open up the knees and let them hang. And then slowly do the same motion again in towards the chest. In this case, it's the side body, and release a bit. In. Your hands and arms are actually doing the movements. If this is difficult for you, if this feels like a lot of effort, I would love for you to take the belt and do this actually with the belt. You can take the belt around your knees, hold on with your hands, and slowly pull in and out. For some of you, the legs will just be a little further out here, and it will be hard to pull with our arms. So use the belt to do this movement. Yeah? Slowly in and out. Wonderful. Bring the legs back in. And today we slowly extend the left leg. Notice if you can create a long line between your ankle, knee, and hip joint. And let the left leg fully extend onto the ground. With your hands, hug around the right knee and slowly pull in a bit closer. Now, while we do this, we want to make sure that the whole entire body lengthens. So instead of just doing it somehow, I would love for us to create length in the body, because the play between contraction and release is what creates well-being in our body. So while I'm laying, I'm elongating my head and neck. I'm trying to reach through my back and the back of the crown of the head and my leg that is on the ground, in this case the left foot, and then I slowly switch. Left leg break, left leg draws in, right leg extends. Now you see that I'm moving slowly and deliberately. I'm doing this because I want to really stay connected with the movement. I want to be able to breathe and stay focused. So slowly draw the left knee in and bring the right leg into an extended length that can correlate with the way how I breathe. I lengthen and breathe in and out. Wonderful. And then slowly bring the right leg back in. Stretch out your heels to the sky for just a moment. If you can extend your knees fully, please do so. If they are slightly bent, do not worry about it. See if you can extend and lengthen to the ceiling. And then open up the legs out to the side. Hold on with your hands to the side of your knees and hold on for a moment. And maybe here again, slightly move forth and back. Bend the knees. We are again in this open position where we were before and transition into happy baby. This is a yoga posture where the ankles end up on top of the knees, the hands or the belt around the soles of the feet, and we slowly draw the knees to the side of our waist or armpit area, depending on how far you can move. Now, the goal in happy baby, the essence of this posture is to not simply open the legs out to the side and bend the knees. I would like the legs, let me show you from the side, the ankles and the knees to come into one vertical position. I hope you can see that there, yes. So instead of open, most of us would kind of like open the legs just out to the side. This is not it. The knees and the ankle try to stack on top of each other, which means my knees open as far as I can. And some of us need to bring the ankles a tiny bit in. And then I allow my knees to draw deeper. For some of you who have practiced that a little while, absolutely go deeper into this position and breathe into your belly. And exhale, draw the knees closer in. Inhale and exhale. So if you can see me, you can see that I'm not just holding. I am actually lightly moving with my breath. And this is really a skill that I would love to teach you, to be able to move through your asanas, which means with each in and exhale, I can enhance my pose. So in happy baby, I can inhale and lengthen my spine, let my tailbone and sacrum ground into the ground a little bit more. And with my exhale, I can draw the knees a tiny little bit closer down. Then I back off just a smudge and I lengthen again. I make an effort to sink my tailbone as good as possible down. You might feel it that it wants to lift up. Our job is to keep this tailbone down and then exhale. So what happens is, if you learn what this pose is for and how we're doing it, you have a lot more practice in each pose. And then slowly from here, we are extending the left leg. So hold on with belt or your hands around your right foot. Keep it exactly there where it is. And the left leg extends to the floor. If you can, flex your left foot. And if you have to bend the left knee a little bit to extend it out, please do so. Make sure that your right thigh stays on your belly as good as possible. Yeah? So rather than lifting this up and going all the way down, this is a different exercise. I want you to stay in this happy baby position and try to stretch out the left leg as far as your body allows you, without cheating, without changing any form in this position. Good. And then slowly lift up. Left leg comes right back into happy baby. And switch to the other side. Belt around the foot. pull really close to your armpit, and then slowly extend the right leg. In this case, it's the other one. Slowly extend it to the ground. So wherever this is not about how this looks on the outside. This is about you knowing what this movement is for, what we're doing with it. We're stretching the back part of our legs. We are opening our hips. We are lengthening our spine. We are creating movement in the hip area. We're stretching the front part of the extended legs. And all of this creates movement in areas that when we sit a lot and when we're tense and tight, can balance these tightness and tension. And then slowly lift back up. Wonderful. Let the belt come to the side, bend your knees, and let your feet sink onto the mat. Beautiful. Windshield wiper motion. Have your heels fairly close to your bottom, so don't extend the legs as much. At least come into a 90-degree angle or less or more. And open the feet wide, and then slowly move the knees from side to side. This will create a different movement in our hip and spine to what we just did in Happy Baby. The inner leg rolls in as much as we can. The outer leg rotates and open out to the ground as far as we can. Breath by breath, we are slowly moving a little bit further and deeper. So the first few movements left and right that we do in each new position, I want you to not go too far. I want you to allow the body to slowly open up. And you see now I'm way further in my movement, and it felt natural because my body allowed me to go there. Bring the legs to the right side. Lift your left arm overhead and stretch the whole left side of the body. This should really feel good. Lengthen and expand. Breathe and see if you can stretch a little wider. And other side. Knees to the left. Right arm lengthens above or beside the right ear. I like to put my left hand onto my right hip and feel that side body. And slowly back to center. Let's do this one more time. Side. And other side. Wonderful. And then from here, let's all roll over to the left side. So wherever you are, roll over to the left side. Have your knees bent in a 90-degree angle. So we want the knees to end up right in front of the pubic bone. This creates a 90-degree angle. So now, before we go anywhere, see if you can lengthen your spine. So it's worth it to pay attention to the position that we are tending to. Yeah? And from this movement, we extend the left arm forward. Again, this left arm is parallel to our legs, also in a 90-degree angle. And then we bring the right arm on top of the left arm. And I want you to lift up the right arm solely to the sky first, so that we have the palm and the shoulder in one long line. And then from here, open up your chest and let the right arm move towards the back behind you. And lift back up and come in. So slow movement where our spine is moving. For most of us, the knees want to open up here and our whole hip wants to shift. I don't want you to do this. I want you to keep your knees and your hip stacked on top of each other and to only go as far as your thoracic spine, which is this part of the spine, allows you to turn towards the back. Back and forth. When you exhale, Release the arm to the back. When you inhale, try to always come back into this beautiful 90-degree angle. Again, lift up. So here's one more little thing that a lot of us don't do right. Let me show you this way again. So what we want in this movement, you keep going, is not to let the arm just sink back. So I can do this and just bring my arm down. What I want in this movement is to twist my spine, which means my arm cannot go down on my shoulder. We had this yesterday, I think 2 days ago in the video also when we were twisting. So our goal is to twist from our thoracic spine. That's where we're twisting from. It's not the arm that goes back, yeah? So really pay attention. Am I twisting from my shoulder, my hips, or am I twisting in my spine? Because that's what we want. And now hold this movement, this open twist for just a moment. If you have been practicing for a while, see if you can hug the upper leg, in this case the right one, around the left one, and stay in this position. It's a little bit deeper twist. If the right shoulder blade is not completely on the ground, do not worry about it. Yeah? We take breaths into the side of our rib cage. Inhale. If you want to take your right hand onto your rib cage, I want you to feel how this part expands. And exhale. And notice how it deflates. Inhale. Exhale. Stretch out the right arm one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Slowly unwind the legs first. Bring the right arm back and let's switch to the other side. I'm going to switch to this way so you can keep seeing me. Okay, other side. We're laying on the right side. Knees in front of the pubic area. Spine is elongated and long. Yeah? Pay attention, most of us are probably rounded here. Elongate and lengthen. Right arm parallel to the legs. 90-degree angle. Left arm on top. And then very slowly start with lifting up the left arm and expanding back very lightly. Remember that the knees and the hips stay on top of each other. We're not shifting the weight, we're staying on top. Really try to make an effort to do this and only go as far as your thoracic spine allows you to go. If you want to lift up that arm a little bit and only go to the place where you start to feel the stretch in the chest area, you can do so. And now observe and feel, where do I really feel this? We are learning to pay attention to our body. If this creates any type of pain, it shouldn't. The movement should be pain-free. The sensation of stretch is there, and yes, for some of us, we will feel this in our spine, and just the act of keeping our knees and hips stacked on top of each other will create a little bit of effort, but it shouldn't be pain. We need to learn the difference between pain and sensation of practice, which is very helpful to learn. And let's hold the position one more time. And breathe into our left rib cage. Inhale and exhale. And you might notice how the exhalation releases a lot of the tension that we're holding on to. it's always the exhale that creates the release. But without a conscious inhalation that creates expansiveness, we get very little benefit from this deep exhalation because one part is missing. And here comes one more little bit of a position for everybody who has been practicing for a while. You can hug your leg, your upper leg, in this case the left one, around your right knee and breathe. We are only in our body. We're not in our mind, we're not in the past, we're not in the future. You are here with me in this beautiful reclined twist on your back in supine position, and slowly release back to center. Wonderful. Let's come into a seated position. Lift ourselves up. Just for a moment. Come into hero's pose one more time, either with your blocks or if you can sit in between your feet. And I would love for us to twist from side to side. In and exhale. You can feel how this creates freedom in our body. And slowly release. Very good. Let's transition onto the belly, please. So we come onto a prone position, laying on our belly. I would love to show you one more stretch that I think is a beautiful, beautiful helper in creating release in our shoulders and head and neck muscles, where we often feel our stress as well. So we come from a position on the ground. Allow for just a moment to have your hands on below your forehead. Extend your legs, create a long line, and then we open up the right arm into a 90-degree angle to the side. 90-degree angle is this position here, kind of like a letter U position, or sometimes like a goal post, yeah, only on the right side. So allow your arm to come out and shift your whole chest towards the edge of the mat, so the arm expands out. That's the starting position. And then turn your head to the left side, and let me turn around so that you can actually see me here. And then we slowly lift up the left leg and allow the leg to sink back behind us. And what this will do is it will create a deep stretch. I'm showing you one more time on this side, in the chest of that right arm that is on the ground. So one more time, we scooch out with that right elbow, lift up the left leg, and slowly, just a little bit, not too far. This is not about the leg here. We create a stacking position where the left shoulder stacks on top of the right one. And the best way to do that is to let the hand of the fingertips or the fingers of the left hand press into the ground in front of you and slightly push into the ground, very lightly. You should feel a very clear stretch in the right side, the front of your chest, the front of your shoulder. The head is relaxed. The left leg is relaxed, so we're not really creating a lot of tension there. It's relaxed. I'm not pushing too far. I'm not pulling anywhere deep. I'm feeling the stretch in my chest. And just being in there and breathing, you will again notice that your inhale can lengthen you, can back off with a slight twist, and your exhale can twist you a little bit deeper in the stretch. Inhale and exhale. This should feel really good. It should feel like it is opening up all the tension that we're holding on to in our front body. And slowly release back to center. Take a moment to rest your head on your forehead on your arms. Good. Let's do it on the other side. Again, left elbow 90 degrees. It is important that you slightly shift your chest. It's not the entire body. So I'm not going with the whole length of my body to the edge of the mat. It's just the chest. And I'm opening the 5 fingers of my left hand and really pressing the palm into the ground. Turn your head to the right side. Lift up your right leg and slowly swivel the right hip on top of the left hip and the right shoulder on top of the left shoulder. And with each breath, I am looking for length, and at the same time, I am looking for release. Inhale, you can back up just a bit. Exhale and stack a little bit further. Please note that this is not about really pushing hard. This position altogether already creates quite a good stretch in this chest and front shoulder. Even a little bit in your shoulder blade, you will feel this. Let's take 3 more breaths in this position. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And if you watch my movements, you can exactly see where I inhale and where I exhale. This very slight yet flowing movement while I breathe. And slowly back to center, forehead on your hands. Take a moment and just slightly wiggle your hips from side to side. Allow your arms to come alongside your body and turn the head to the right side. Let your shoulders sink. Let your chest, head, neck, everything release into the ground for a moment. I would love for you to feel the weight of your body in your belly. So you're feeling the movement of your breath in your belly and hip area. This will create a slight lifting and lowering sensation. And I want you to really feel this. Good. And then you lift up the head and turn it to the other side. I think it was the right side. So the left side of the face, the left ear is going to be on the ground. So turn your head to the right side. See how far you can turn. Can you release your shoulders? And feel your breath in your belly. Some of us will also feel our heartbeat. And then we take one more breath. And slowly lift the head back up. place the hands to the side of our chest and slowly lift ourselves up, slowly. And let's get our bolster, or you could theoretically lift up your legs on a chair as well. We're coming into our last resting position. So, if you have a pillow or two, or something where you can lift your legs over, please take those. Alternatively, you can have your legs on a chair. You can put your calf muscles in a 90-degree angle on a chair. That's also a really restful position. So today I have this bolster here and I'm letting my legs, the weight of my legs be held by the bolster. So what I want is the back of my thighs to be leaning and laying on the bolster. The bolster is not all the way below the bottom. Yeah, it's almost pressed away at a good hand length away, so that only my thighs can rest on this bolster. Yeah, good. The feet might hang or they might touch the ground. It doesn't matter because the weight of the legs is held by the bolster. All right, so from here, let's take a moment and first elongate our spine before we completely relax. See if you can get some concept of how could my spine be a little longer before I relax. And the best way to do this is to actually press through the back of the crown of the head. And then slowly allow the legs to relax, allow the arms to come alongside our body. Let our shoulders sink and let them roll to wherever they like to roll. Feel the shoulder blades nicely grounded into the ground. Feel your sacrum, which is this bony plate right up here between our hip and our spine. And feel your skull. Notice which part of your skull is touching the ground. If it's more a higher part, a lower part, if you feel like you're in the middle. And then maybe, for most of us, this is a good technique. Draw the chin in, lift up your head, and then allow the head to sink down. If it lifts back up, don't worry about it. But we start with this position. Good. And then we close our eyes and end our class today with a restful, calm posture called Shavasana, corpse pose, where we allow the nervous system to recharge and receive energy back, because we create a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual state where we can receive. So breath by breath, I am letting go my physical body. I'm letting go of the weight that I might carry in my heart. I am letting go of the worries and the lists, the stories, the plans that I have created and that we all make in anticipation of our life situation. In this moment in time, I lovingly let go of this, like a backpack that I take off my shoulders and put beside me. Each exhale creates a little bit more lightness because I surrender the weight. I surrender that I carry with me. And as a result, the body becomes light. The breath can flow freely. And I can feel the calm in every not only part of my body, but in each cell. This state has the power to reach each cell of my body. I want you to visualize that your breath is your life source, is the energy that is bright and clear. It's filled with light. This life source is always there for us as long as we live. We can tap into it and connect to it in any given moment in time. Right now, I am inhaling this light, and I feel how more and more parts of my body, how each cell can charge up with this light source, with this life force and energy. And as a result, each cell can do its work. Because remember, we humans are constructed in this beautiful, magical way that everything we need is already provided. Today, in this moment in time, we are tapping into this light within us. We allow each cell to recharge. So that our physical bodies are safe, protected. They become capable. They are clear. And we can trust that everything is working perfectly fine for us to be able to deal with the external stress that we all are facing in this moment in time. You might feel how this is a very tangible feeling. It created a smile into my face. I can feel how my face relaxed. How there's this peaceful calm, a peaceful rest in which I know that I will be well. We slowly deepen our breath. Very gently start to expand. And bring your awareness back into time and place. Don't immediately jump up. Linger on for a moment. See if we can take this calm, this peaceful, light, bright, centered energy that we just created within us, that we found within us. See if we can take this with us when we now start to move again. With our hands and feet, toes and fingers. I like to turn my head slowly from side to side. Maybe stretch out and extend. Maybe bring your knees one by one last time to your chest. And roll over to the right side. And slowly push up to our last seated position. Again, do not let the seat be full of tension. Move slowly and gently. Take one more last moment to feel what is in this moment in time after our practice, where we shifted our focus, where we practiced to create an energy within us that I know will be helpful for the rest of my day, and I hope the rest of your day as well. There is a distinct difference in energy between how we are now and how we were when we started. I hope that you can feel this too. This is part of the magic of yoga. And if we tap into this, yoga doesn't just become a practice of forms and shapes and exercises with our body. It becomes an energetic practice that can change our mind, that can change the way how we perceive our life. It can change the way we feel and create the well-being that so many of us so urgently long for in these moments in time. And it creates a holistic practice. We are practicing yoga so that I can be better prepared in my life. That I can learn how to deal and manage stress. That I have a tool that I can always get back to. That's what yoga is for me, for my students. And I hope that it will touch you at the place where you can make a change. Make that tiny, tiny turn within you that will create a different trajectory for your life. So let's bring our palms together to the center of our heart. It was my joy and pleasure to practice with you today, and I hope to see you again soon. Namaste.